So somehow I managed to snap my clutch cable. Fortunately, it didn't happen while I was riding. I came home one time and I saw that my cable had completely and utterly frayed to the point there was only 2 strands holding it left. I came to the conclusion that if you don't oil your clutch cable or lubricate it, then that could happen, because when you pull your clutch cable in, the cable shouldn't bend at all. It needs to be straight. And there's like this little pivoty piece of plastic where the cable, there's like a little notch knob thing at the end of the cable, and it goes into a piece of plastic, and if you don't lubricate that thing, then there's a possibility that it could bind, and with all the crap and dirt that gets into it, and then when you pull the clutch cable in, you're actually bending the cable, and I think that's what happened to me. So that's the first thing I have to talk about. I don't really know what to talk about in this video, because I'm just doing a video really just to test a different camera setup, or a different camera position, because I've now got the camera in a different position on my helmet, and I've got the microphone in a different position within my helmet, and the thing is, with the Drift, I'm using a Drift HD, and the microphone is just so ridiculously sensitive, and so I've been playing with a whole load of different positions to have the microphone in, you know, and even stupid things like taking the little microphone and covering it in bits of cloth, and just to dampen the sound that it receives, and it's just all these little things just to get the sound just perfect without too much distortion. Let's see if I've succeeded by the end of this video, shall we? Why you're supposed to look over your shoulder when you change lanes, so you don't end up in a situation like that, both people trying to change lanes at the same time. What a crappy, oh my gosh, that truck was just all the way on the hard shoulder. Flipping heck! Just about managed to get my exit. Let's not leave it so late next time, shall we? Still to pass this guy. Yeah, go on in. What about this guy? Yeah, go on in. Glad the gap is closing. Probably not the safest thing to do right now. Even though I really want to. There's got to be a gap. Come on. There's got to be a little place I can squeeze through. That's it. Just go forward a little bit. There we go. Thank you very much. I've been on a mission on this bike, and that is to squeeze as many miles I can out of a full tank as possible. You know, and how feasible that is, I don't know. So I did various things, like I changed the spark plugs to Iridium spark plugs, obviously got a new air filter, and that definitely helped. But then I was reading about using super unleaded, because normally I just use the normal 95 stuff in here, and it was fine, but then apparently you get more miles per gallon if you use super unleaded. How true that is, I'm yet to find out. I think on my last fill up I did gain about 2 miles per gallon extra, because my reserve normally kicks in at about 152 miles, and instead of kicking in at 152, it kicked in at 172. So that implies that maybe by using super unleaded I did actually get more miles per gallon. So that's one way I've been trying to do it. There we go. This gap's a little bit too tight because I don't like it. Too tight, gonna smack my mirrors on the cars. Yeah, just changing my riding style a bit, going through the gears quicker, not riding like a complete twat. You know, that helps save fuel occasionally. If I don't, you know, anti-twat riding, that certainly saves fuel. And the other thing I've done, I was actually thinking of taking a 1 litre reserve fuel bottle with me in my backpack, and then just running it dry and see how many miles I get. I mean, my commute is 188 miles in the full week, and yeah, 188 miles each way. Now that'd be crazy. Each way, for one way, it's 23 miles, which means it's about 46 miles per day. I usually go in 4 days a week, so that's 188 miles. So at the moment I'm getting about 152 miles before I fill up, but I generally don't like to go into the reserve because I have no idea how many miles I can actually get out of my reserve. Yeah, I was going to attempt that, but I thought that's a bad idea. Well, that's very kind of you, thank you, sir. Go on, mate, you can accelerate. You have my permission to accelerate. And at one point I was getting 135 miles before my reserve kicked in. And from what I've been reading, some people get like 80 miles. I'm like, what? Because if it's a 19-litre tank and I get 170-ish miles before the reserve kicks in, and then I filled up again, and I ended up putting something like 16 litres in, and so that means I've got 3 extra litres to play with. So theoretically, that's an extra 30 miles. So I've got yet to put that to the test. Easy, Silver Van. Okay, inside or out? Yeah, inside. And then we can switch to the outside. So I would also like to know what are the most fuel efficient 600cc bikes. So I did work out that I think I'm getting about 47 miles per gallon out of this Hornet, which isn't bad actually, but when you compare it to when it's only just slightly better than the car, which I find odd. Yeah, it'll be fine. Make it past that. I think I'll be okay. And the trick of getting it into neutral, applying just the right amount of pressure. Now this is the thing I do like the Kawasaki's for. You just kick it up and it's straight into neutral. That looks like it can go terribly wrong.